Hello and welcome to a brand new 5 Heart podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, X. I know we saw that a lot this past Saturday as our black shirts threw the bones quite a bit. Nebraska, well, they didn't rumble, bumble, and stumble. They dominated Colorado. We're going to talk, obviously, all about it in the weekend, the meetup, everything. It was tremendous. But first, let me introduce my co-host, my friend, someone who generosity legit knows no bounds. It's wild. Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
Wow, what an introduction. Well, I'm really, really good. And it's not for any reason that you might think, Greg.
Is it not because Nebraska's 2-0 and ranked 23 and 24, depending on which poll you look at?
That is pretty awesome. But guys, you know how we've been talking all off season long about a concern that we might have on special teams. Well, today I feel vindicated because we should all feel vindicated because Matt Rule actually said in his press conference that he was going to have an open long snapper competition.
There are a few words that when strung together make you as happy as talking about long snappers.
It's true.
It is. And believe me, after Saturday, we need a long snapper competition.
Good point, Greg. Very good point. Should we?
The only types of points that I have.
Dive right in. We have two to choose from. I don't know if there's another player on the team that has long snapping experience, but since there's a competition, I would think that, if they do, why not? So the first is
Jason Reeves says we're not even a minute in and we're talking long snappers. No, hold on. Before we continue, I got to scroll all the way up because at 8:26 Central Time, God's favorite time zone, it was revealed through the power of the internet that Corn Nation on YouTube had a new member. Jason Reeves, my birthday brother. You are tremendous and you are appreciated.
Nice.
Here's the thing.
Thank you.
First of all, it's important to note Fred was first. Somewhere's first. No, Fred, according to us at 6:21 a.m., Fred was first, not Highlander. On ours. Sorry, Highlander. Highlander says, "Why did I steal? I didn't steal your victory. I have no say."
You did. Or John, not me.
Truth be told, I'm slowly being phased out of the fire because first Minnie reached out to John last December. We all know the story. It's a rags to riches tale. Hey, any way that I can help the show, help the channel, help Cornation. And so he sends me an email. He says, "Hey, so this person Minnie wants to be on the show." I said, "Okay, that's cool." And then she brought the format. A month, would you say? Probably a month. I signed over stream creation duties to you, Minnie. So pretty soon it's just going to be the Minnie show.
We still need you to show.
Is going to go away.
Right. You are the pretty face of the show. We need you to show up.
That's just what Linda
will. Just sit there.
Aaron Keene says this right at noon. Holy shit. Rule talked about the long snapper in today's press conference. Chat was definitely on something there. So,
see?
And let's see.
Guys.
All right. So let's jump down to, to live. That Fred says our former head coach had many a long snapper open. That's good. Good Lord. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. Good evening to you and your family. Got to meet. Look, I know I need to stay on topic. Otherwise, we're going to be here forever. Lots of stories, lots of things to discuss from this past weekend. Let's go ahead and get this long snapper talk done and over with. Put it behind us so that we can move on and talk happy things. Minnie,
thank you.
Take it away.
Okay, here's the deal. We all know that Marco Ortiz was the fantastic long snapper that was at Nebraska for 3 years. We never had a problem. Not one. And in fact, I looked him up. He still teaches long snapping in Lincoln. But he's not eligible any longer. So he's moved on to just teaching it. We do have Camden Witucky, who was always our backup long snapper. And he has snapped for 2 games. He also has graduated from Nebraska. He's been there since 2020. Anyways.
That was a little more drawn
heard that, Greg.
That was, all right. It was nothing inappropriate.
Yeah.
It was this, but I almost said it was my zipper, but I really needed to clarify with the visual aid. It was the zipper on my cooler. So.
Oh my gosh. Greg.
Because if I just say it otherwise, Fred's going to be like, ha. And we don't need to give Fred any more ammunition.
Greg, what are you drinking? I just need to know.
Yingling. Traditional.
I'm surprised there's
water.
any Yingling left in Missouri after your trip.
Well, so here's the thing, and I think I talked about this. I went to Lincoln with, I think, 6 cases of Yingling, maybe 5. I gave a case of Yingling Light to Haas. Haas actually ended up sharing it with his girlfriend's father. Got him some points for some Yingling. 2 cases, and because of the parking, like I don't know what I was expecting. When on Friday night when we're all down at Haymarket and Kincaiders. By the way, Kincaiders was tremendous. What a great time. Again, we'll talk about it. But I really thought that I'd be like, hey, everybody who like the Freds of the world, not to generalize everybody to be a Fred, but hey, who wants to? But we had to park like 3 blocks down in a parking garage and just didn't really feel like carrying around cases of Yingling. Did that on Saturday, apparently, when I took one to a tailgate and just left it there. So. So Josh ended up going home with 2 cases of Yingling, and I had my 1 case, and then I just brought another case here. So I don't have to buy Yingling for a few more weeks, depending on how these weeks go.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
So
this is number 96.
Yep, sorry.
Okay.
How dare I interrupt the tremendous long snapper talk? Which
also was part of the reason why Tristan Albano missed a field goal this week, was because the snap was off, and the timing was totally off. So now we have Aiden Fledge. He's the long snapper from Northern Iowa. No, excuse me, from Iowa Western.
IWCC.
How many schools? Mm-hmm. He was there in 21 and 22, the junior college, and then he came to Nebraska. And he just contacted Ed Foley and said, hey, I snapped. So they took him on in the summer. And that was kind of a surprise to see him on the roster because we hadn't heard anything about him. So I'm really wondering, what he's going to look like.
Wasn't that just like one of the weirdest phenomena of the off season is just players randomly showing up and earning a roster spot? We have Aiden, we have Jalen Gramstead. It's just I have 2 bad knees, a bad back, gray hair, and 4 years of eligibility. So I think theoretically I could meander into Hawks Performance Center and be like, Coach, I understand you need a long snapper, and if my job is only like 3, 4, 5 times a game, I might be able to be of assistance. And he'll be like, have
Greg,
you ever played football
no.
before? And I'll say no. And he'll say, thank you for coming. Here's a t-shirt. See you later.
This would not work.
Why not?
Yeah, you have to have, because I've seen you get up out of a chair.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's you're not wrong. It's the knees pop. I'm bone on bone in my right knee. I shouldn't have said it like that, Fred. Please take it easy. It's been a day. So in the comments, we have some Yingling related comments. First of all, we have BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I got all the Yingling Addies. I don't know. I think he's been drinking all the Yingling Addies. To which Fred says, damn you, Josh. Highlander Gun says, just get it over with, Greg, and buy a keg. I don't have
Wait, what does BFOTS stand for?
Best friend of the show.
Uh-huh. Got it.
Best friend of the show, me and Josh. So
hey,
we're a little early
with
on that.
Josh. Wait a second.
We're not there yet. Calm down.
Oh, okay.
So that's what Highlander said. And then a really good idea. I mean, I'm so pumped for this idea for two reasons. Aaron Keene says Greg's going to get a GoFundMe going for a Yingling pipeline. The reason I love this idea, and yeah, there's probably more football talk to discuss, but one, a Yingling pipeline, and two, GoFundMe, so I don't have to fund it. We'll just get it straight from the factory.
Amazing.
So,
or we actually should be contacting them to help promote our show.
And they would say, we don't even distribute in Illinois yet, so you're on your own. Or Nebraska, for that matter. And then this is a new individual in the comment that I'm recognizing, but he's made some really good points, except for this one. Jimmy McNutty says Greg for president. Now, we've got some other highlighted comments from Jimmy.
Wow.
And I'll say this.
I didn't know you had political ambitions.
Oh, the funny part is I have zero political. I don't know why anybody would want the job, honestly, which is odd to say because we're in an election year. But no, thank you. I don't want to be president of the United States. I don't want to be president of a university. I don't want to be president of the PTO. I don't want to be president of shit.
How about the Homeowners Association?
No, if I was the president of the HOA, I would disband the HOA and stop spending $300 every year, which I know 300's not a lot in the grand scheme of things compared to like other HOA fees, but we actually, fun story. We had this is a quick sidebar and then we'll get back on topic. So we're driving my oldest Garrett. He had a soccer game tonight and we're all leaving. And the boys look out and they have a little pond in the neighborhood. And Garrett says, that pond looks really dirty. I said, yeah, HOA or somebody needs to take care of that. He's like, I'll do it. I said, that's why we have the HOA. The HOA doesn't do shit.
Okay. Much like okay, never mind. We're not going to go there. Are there any long snapper comments or is everyone just kind of brushing over the big news?
I
feel like this is kind of just
Raji's late, but
I'm late. Okay. Well, welcome.
Let's see the other Dave. Okay, Diamond Dave. So this is the other Dave, or maybe the other Dave. Says good way to get a T-shirt. By the way, Alumni Hall for this one here, which is
ooh,
I like that one. I dropped some coin in Alumni Hall. They were happy to see
and
me.
it's nice and red. Look at you.
Thank you. This is why I should have kept my bone on bone. Greg's high school prom plan too. Stop it. Let's see. Looking for more long snapper comments. Quickly. I'm perfectly.
That's okay. Oh, wait. Fred chiming in at the end. The current long snapper sucks. They're opening the competition. Not much more needs to be said. Thanks, Fred. Thanks for going along with it. Jeez.
He basically just rephrased everything that you said in a way that was more
Okay.
digestible and family friendly. So, but hey, that's Fred. That's Fred for you. What do you expect? So,
Not much.
yeah, let's get that figured out. By gosh.
Please. That would be nice.
And it was announced or revealed, however you want to, whatever descriptive verb you want to use. Matt Rule says that the field goal and the punts could be won by the same long snapper. So I just feel like in this day and age, they probably need to change the name of that. Why not call it the long? You don't call Ben Scott a snapper. He's the center. Why not call it like the long center?
Okay, that sounds even worse when you think about it.
Well, I don't know.
Come up with a better name. I dare you.
I will do that.
There's not a better name.
Marianne Roberts, good seeing you tonight. Says, I think it's more than just a long snapper, but it's a start. We do need some special teams consistency. And I was really pleased with how Brian Buschini punted the ball on Saturday. 5 punts, averaged over 50 yards a punt, had a couple inside the 20, had the first one down around the 2. He was he's been far more consistent, and obviously small sample size than he was last year. We'll see what happens and how he performs when against better competition, dare I say. But, again, a rivalry game like Colorado is a tremendous tune-up regardless of the circumstance, regardless of what you have coming up. So,
it's so good. So good.
John Pines over on X says, I'll long snap 3 years of eligibility left. Hey, if you have 3 years of eligibility left, John, then that means you actually used one of yours. That means you have more experience than me. I say go for it.
And more experience than our current long snapper.
Heyo. Let's see. I don't know if I agree with this, Jimmy. Ed Foley probably needs to go. All he does is eat at diners, visit high schools, need Bill Bush. Look.
Way.
So I'll say this:
Nutty.
if he's producing results on the recruiting trail, that's an asset. If he's going into high schools, going into homes, and if he's getting some of these, because look, we have upgraded the roster last year to this year, and if he's a part of that, you need to preserve that asset, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I agree.
Let's see, Fred, with a serious comment, which is rare, and I read through the entire thing. I read through the entire thing to make sure it was a serious comment. Says, I'd hate to waste our great defense and at least not turnover machine offense with shitty special teams. That's fair.
True.
That is last year we were saying when the defense was on the field all the time and the offense was going 3 and out or, not moving the ball, like, oh, the defense deserves better. It is it's a game in 3 levels or 3 parts. It's offense, defense, special teams. And if one of those parts is not holding up, I mean, you're going to get into games, hopefully meaningful games in November, where you're going to need a field goal. You're going to have to execute properly. And when they were unable to do that Saturday, call it 4-down territory, call it, just avoiding, you miss a field goal, essentially a turnover, at least turnover and downs, but the ball stays there. So no problem with the decision to go for it on some of those 4th down instances there in the second half. So, but yeah, Fred, you're absolutely right. We can't waste what is going to be another stellar defense by having another element of the game not pull its weight. So, all right, Minnie, where are we going next?
Well, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this amazing weekend that we had, meeting all of our friends. First of all, Greg, I got to meet you.
It's true. I was there in the flesh. And the crowd
Greg,
went mild.
you are quite the giant.
I'm approximately 6'3", give or take.
Yeah, maybe you were wearing tall shoes too.
I don't put lifts in. I don't need to do that. That seems
I think
silly.
you do.
But in all fairness, we knew going in that you were short.
Okay.
I think the word you have used in the past was petite.
True. Okay. Well, it was wonderful meeting you.
So likewise.
Even though you were late, you were very late to the date, which he's always late here. So what else would we expect?
Now, timeout.
The
event was 7:30 to close, and we got there. We didn't get seated at Laszlo's until 7, and I'm just looking at my watch and I'm like, trying to shove it in as fast as I could. They were very late on the check at Laszlo's. I think they wanted us to say and drink more, but I'm like, I don't know if y'all know this, but we got Corn Nation and the Chatterfields across the street. We got to get.
Oh, you were across the street. Nice.
So,
yeah.
No, it was great.
Go. What'd you think of the meetup?
Oh no, I had
that you hoped.
It was, and I felt honestly overwhelmed. It initially had started out, and I don't know if we talked about this on the show. As soon as I knew for sure that I was going to be in town, I sent the Slack. Started with the Coronation Slack. I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in town for the Colorado game. I would love to see as many of you wonderful Coronation people as possible." And then that sort of evolved into let's get we started talking about it here and the notion of a public meetup. And make sure that as many of these wonderful people here are fan family knew about it. And so that, I think we started talking about it 3-4 weeks ago. Mark your calendars, save the dates, whatever. But I was truly overwhelmed by the turnout. Internally, we had, John coming down and a lot of the local folk. I mean, Todd was there, Todd Wolverton. I'll be honest with you, I'm disappointed he did not rate my badonkadonk, which probably would not have received a high rating. And that's okay. I like to know where I stand. But like Nate was there, Jarek was there, Rostovsky was there. And Bree, Nate brought his wife, Christy, which was great because, I'm Facebook friends with, and outside of John, I had not met any of these people before. Haas, obviously I went to dinner. Josh and I went to dinner with Haas and his girlfriend. So Haas came over to Kincaiders, had never met Haas before. I've talked with Haas most weeks for the last 7 years.
That's crazy.
And, so just that, Jill, I don't know if I mentioned Jill was there. Andy, Miley were there. And just that, that would have been enough. But, knowing that Josh was going to be there because, I want to say he was my rider, I was his, but he was my way into the game. So, but when we started opening up here, Fred, the Matneys, the list goes on and on. James Boardman was there. It was, I was, honest to gosh, I was overwhelmed. And
so neat.
The organizer in me try to make sure that I could get around to everybody and at least make sure that everybody knew that I was aware of their participation, attendance, however
like that.
And so I felt bad I didn't maybe get to spend as much time talking to some as I would have liked, but to just bounce around and just visit. It was, like I said, I was very overwhelmed. So
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And it was so neat just seeing that people actually came. Fred Sacco was there, for heaven's sakes.
Fred Sacco is
Fred Sacco in the flesh.
I don't know if you know this about Fred, but Fred is a real living, breathing person.
He's not a bot.
Well, not a bot, but he's tremendous. Honestly, just
for sure.
the whole
Drove an
event.
hour. Yeah. Just to come and see us. That was really neat. And Maureen, his girlfriend. I saw her in the corner and I'm like, gosh, that's a pretty girl standing there in the corner. I wonder what she's up to. And I think it's because Fred was like mingling or maybe getting drinks. And then I saw her with Fred, and I think I was maybe the first one to say, introduce myself because I saw he was wearing a Coronation shirt, one of John's
Right.
best t-shirts
The
that's probably going to get retired after this year.
I'll say the unedited one at that.
Yeah, there is no hope. Fuck everything. Go Big Red. Classic. So I knew he was there for Coronation, so I introduced myself, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're Fred!" And then there's this beautiful woman next to him, and I'm like, "Who's this?" It's his girlfriend. Very
Awesome.
cool. Very cool to see you guys.
We're gonna get into it, because I think I'd have to go back through the chat. I'm trying to find a group photo. So I went with Haas to give him his case of beer.
Okay.
And when I did that, I think you and your crew went up the road. So we ended up getting a Coronation group photo to the best of our ability with those who were left. So, and I was trying to enlist James Boardman to take the photo, and somebody else, one of the tremendous people in Lincoln, who's clearly a Nebraska fan and just all around good people, said, like, here, I'll take the picture, you get in there. And I was looking, I'm like, you don't work here. but James Boardman's in this photo as well. So this is the Coronation crew who was still there at this point. Because again, I had the idea, but some folks had already left. So left to right here, obviously that's my ugly mug. James Boardman's in the back. John Johnston, there's Jill, there's Bree, there's Rostovsky, then Andy, and then Miley right in front. So with a tremendous Coronation flag / cape. So
Awesome.
It was
awesome.
Just to say that I felt blessed by the entire experience is honestly doing it in an understatement. It's not the most appropriate response. So somebody in here, and again, I didn't tag it when I should have, so I apologize. But okay, maybe you tagged it. So I don't know where it's just any of your thoughts on Friday night that you didn't already touch on?
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought it was just really great. You just walk in and it's like you know people because you've seen, like, I saw Todd first thing and I was like, hey, I know you. So I just go up to him and start talking to him because, like, I know him from just watching him, right, on Monday nights with John. And it was just really neat. And he's a great guy. And then Andy, I feel like I just feel like I already know all these people. Fred, James Board, and the Matneys. How awesome was it to see the Matneys and Haas? Haas is here.
Look at this. Haas says it was great to meet Minnie, Fred, and of course Skipper on Friday night. Yeah, gosh, Haas, what a guy. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart podcast, is where did you get the flag? That is cool. You probably have to ask Rostovsky. I don't know. I tried getting it from him and he would not let go. Jason says that's Andy and the daughter. Yes, that's Andy and his daughter Miley. Yes. They did a lot. They do a lot of the softball shows in the springtime, and of course Andy's been doing the movies in the summer. And he was trying to get, in his words, trying to get his stuff together to do a football show here on Tuesday nights. But maybe look for that on Tuesday of this coming week. Cross your fingers.
Okay. So, well, what was really funny is when you walked in, and of course, I recognized you immediately and gave you a big hug. And then Haas was behind you, and I gave him a hug. And then you guys are like, yeah, this is Josh, friend of the show. And I'm like, Josh, friend of the show. I don't think I know Josh, you guys. And you're like, Minnie, it's Josh, friend of the show. And
the
it took me a
Josh.
second because it was like, I know him only by his comments reading Josh Hansen.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you changed your name to the initials best friend of the show. So now
Best friend of the show, Josh
here,
Hansen.
if anyone meets you outside of this, all you have to do is say that.
So this is a story that I got told twice from both parties. And they, you know how they always say, you know, when you're hearing a story, there's three versions. There's one version, their version of the truth. I heard the same version from both people. Fred went up, talked to John. He says, John demanded my ID and said, serious question, Fred, what's wrong with you? And Fred says, I replied a lot. We shook hands, and that was the best. So,
Fred, you should have asked. Well, John, I could ask you the same question. Yeah.
Oh, so let's see. This is probably a better question since Haas, if you wanted, I'd get you the link and you could join it. But if you want to save this one for the weekend when we do our overreaction, Jason Reeves wants to know, Haas, come explain what rule means when he talked about the 12th man offense. If you want to, Haas,
I know.
You have
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know what it means.
All right.
I'm not Haas.
Haas Jr. Here we go. She's taking over all the shows.
Hey. Only because I looked it up because I was like, what the heck? Of course, you guys, here's my notebook. Questions I have, things I have to look up,
notebook.
Right? Yes. And 12-man offense was the first thing I wrote down this week because it's like he kept saying that. It's with a fullback and 2 tight ends. That's a 12-man offense. It's not 12 guys on the field. They just call it 12-man. I don't know. Oh, Jason Reeves has notebooks too. Check this out. Other people in the chat have these weird quirks like me.
By the way, if you want to know what a good-looking bunch of people and an ogre look like, by the way, full disclosure, I'm the ogre. This was Saturday before the Unity Walk, and left to right you have Haas, his girlfriend. There's me in the middle, again, the ogre, Minnie, and Josh. Katie's here tonight as well. Katie, God bless you, and great to meet you. Katie. It was amazing meeting y'all. Haas and I loved every minute of it. My only regret is that I didn't make it to more tailgates, didn't drink more beer, but that's okay because I had a 7-hour drive the next day.
Oh, so, yeah.
But that is a good looking picture of me. Well, not me, but all of you and me. So,
and if you guys haven't been there, that building behind us is where all the players walk in after they do the legacy walk. And I stood like right there. Of course, I'm like, part of me, the stalker part, is taking video through the glass. And I see Michael Terry. I see all of these recruits just walking by. It was so awesome. I loved it.
Did you find out their addresses so you can stalk them too?
I don't need addresses.
Oh, God. I like how you were prepared, like, addresses. We don't need no stinking addresses.
We don't need no stinking addresses.
So also, we found this out, and again, I apologize to everybody who's like, oh, guys, the show's really lagging. I'm trying to. I thought pictures were uploaded. They're not, so now I have to kind of go in it. But they went with the. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Are you uploading one right now? Or do you want me to talk about one? Because I have one that, okay.
Oh, talk about one, please.
Okay, these guys. This was cool. So I'm standing right there, right behind that. Okay, wait, first let me add this. Right behind this picture. See where the lady and gentleman are standing? So right there.
You mean right behind Haas?
Yes, right
on
behind
the left
Haas.
side?
They have a line.
You mean the lady in red?
That lady, yes. They have a police do not cross this line, caution line. So I'm right there. And all of a sudden, we're waiting for the buses, and all of Dylan's family walks out, and they're all lined up right there. Every single one of them is wearing a 15 jersey, except for
Daddy.
his dad, because except for Daddy, which he's this gigantic guy, which I was so surprised. Last time I saw Dayton, he wasn't as tall as he is. That kid is like over 6 feet easy now. Dominic is like standing in the front. Mom's wearing the 15. Sister's wearing the 15. Everyone's wearing the 15. And they're all waiting for Dylan to walk up. And then the reason he's wearing the white jacket is because he was part of the 94 team that got the honors given to them that night. And that's what they wore, all the 94 team. But as soon as Dylan walks up, and nobody got this on video, but I have it, Dad takes off the white jersey and has the Dylan Raiola t-shirt underneath.
Which you can, and this is going to sound so weird, but like in the picture, you can see it through his shirt.
I know, but it's so cute. Well, that's the reason why he wore it, is to show, of
course,
show his son that he was supporting him. I thought that was so darling.
Jason Reeves, I found it. Get it here. Jason Reeves says, Greg, gush about your first trip to Memorial Stadium. Well, first of all, if you're going to say something like that, we're going to do it right. You have to, I feel.
For sure.
You have to go do you got to go hit the basics, right? You got to go hit, like, it's your first time. So obviously I went and got, so it helped that they were located right by the Unity Walk. But obviously had to get a picture of this statue. Got a picture of the other one as well. No offense, I'm not going to try to upload that. I'll say this. It chapped my ass that some photographer or maybe parent with a fancy camera or whatever was taking a picture.
Come on.
Some little kid was hanging on Tom's arm.
It's bronze. Nothing is going to happen to it.
I don't know. Do you remember? I'm not trying to get political, but do you remember in, what was it, 2001, 2002 when they pulled
move
down
on.
What?
They're kids. They're kids.
I can't abide hanging on a statue. I'm sorry.
That's because you are Midwestern through and through.
Thank you. I wear that with a badge.
You're welcome.
But we'll get into the game as we go inside the stadium. But walked around again, tailgated. I carried a case of Yingling from the Graduate Hotel all the way over to the Omaha Steaks tailgate.
You're like this.
I did it like it was an old boom box, and then after that got tired, I carried it like a cooler or like a case of beer. And then I get over there, and the lady said, "See, I agree. See, it's right there.
This is so your luck too, Greg. I have to say, I'm still laughing about this. Go ahead.
Which part?
What did the lady say
about the beer?
Yeah.
Oh no, she said, "Oh hey, here we can put some of those in." I said, "Oh, they're not cold and there's not enough room." She said, "Oh, we'll put them in the fridge." I said, "Perfect." I said, She's like, "If you want them, just head." I said, "I just wanted to contribute to the tailgate." I ended up having one Nebraska brewed beer while we were there at the tailgate, bottle of water for the walking away. I gave away, but she said, she's like, "You're gonna be real popular over here with that." And I left a case of Yingling with the good people at the Omaha Steaks tailgate. So.
Which they had plenty of alcohol there. Plenty.
That's fine. And you know what? This is where, if I was any good at marketing, which I'm not, clearly, because otherwise more people would have heard of the show before John's on the field rant in Minnesota 2021. If I was any good at marketing, I would have had like 5 Heart or Core Nation stickers or something like that, and I would put them all over the case. And that way, when they go like, what is this Core Nation thing? What is this 5 Heart? And then they remember. But I'm not that bright or prepared. So,
But John just now started making stickers that are available on what website, Greg?
I'm so glad you asked. And what a tremendous segue into our housekeeping part. You are.
I'm learning.
Chef's kiss. Cobbycorn.com, where you can get all of the tremendous merch. I'll be honest with you. I'm taking the advice, not just of you, but of the Chatterfields, and I'm washing all my reds together now, which I haven't done since I got home. Not that, like, there's not any funk or anything like that, but that's why I'm repping this one. This is an official one on a champion shirt. But I love my Cobbycorn shirts. I was so just happy to wear my, like, people commented on my Secure Your Balls shirt Friday night, and less on the Core Nation shirt, but that was just, it's like Kurt Cobain wearing this is gonna sound bad. I'm not comparing myself to Kurt Cobain. But it's like a band member wearing the shirt of the band that he's in. Horrible analogy. But you try to get the word out,
Okay.
So anyway, cobbycorn.com, get your Corn Nation t-shirt. You're not going to be able to get that There Is No Hope shirt anymore because they've ixnayed the GBRs on that, but you can get the Man Killing Mastodons, the Secure Your Balls, the Run the Effing Ball, RTFB, the corn. I actually really like just the straight Corn Nation shirt that I wore Saturday to the game. So all those stickers, cobbycorn.com. Minnie?
Stickers are really important. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we are putting out content.
Look at that. Teamwork.
Nearly every day on Corn Nation. So you can ring that notification bell and get notified every time there's a change to, like, me putting in the time for 11 p.m. Central Time to back to 9.
Yeah, that would have been I'm not saying I wouldn't have been here, but I might have fallen asleep at the 3-hour mark.
Sorry, I was still on Nebraska time, and my
all good
thing does it automatically.
all good. We got it straightened out. Everybody was here on time. Thankfully, we have these monkeys pretty well conditioned and trained to be like, yeah, 9 o'clock on a Thursday. Got to be there. 9 o'clock Central, God's favorite time zone. Don't you forget it.
Thank you.
And John's got books. Check them out. Or don't at this point. I don't know if he cares.
He cares.
He doesn't care.
My God.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, ma'am?
Somebody does agree with you about the Tom Osborne.
Oh, Jason's not the only one. Jason says, not climbing on Tom goes along with my disdain for fuckers who never learned the flag rules. Let's see. Jason also he also says totally down with Greg. Get your snotty nosed bastards off of Tom. Living in Omaha, David Manny, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast, totally agrees with Greg.
Well, I wouldn't let my kids, but I don't know. There's not a sign like, please do not let your monkeys.
It shouldn't need to be a sign. It should just be common sense, common knowledge. Hey, don't climb all over this thing that costs a lot of money to have to repair/replace. And you were talking about it being bronze, and I just want to point. Jason says, bronze ain't that tensile strong. Ever heard of the Liberty Bell? Did you know that the Liberty Bell has a crack in it? Yes. And even Melissa agrees with me. And if Melissa agrees with me, you know I'm on the right side.
All right. Well, there should be a sign then. Maybe we should have a petition and we can all sign it to get a sign put up.
I haven't done the homework because who's got that kind of time, or I'm just lazy. But there is a way to do like an in-show poll or survey. And this would be a great time to be like, y'all climbing on Tom? I bet you'd be unanimous no.
It would be. Obviously,
Living
I'm
on what,
the only
David
one
Manny?
that's like, okay.
The official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast says, it boils down to simple respect. And Jason says, when we talk about the flag rules, for example, many never wear the flag except as part of uniform or as a lapel pin. Yeah.
Oh.
I actually got one of these.
I did not know that.
Handed to me. Oh yeah, you're not like everybody who bitches about the flag and like kneeling for the flag and things like that, but they're all star-spangled awesome with bandanas and tank tops and things like that. They're kind of violating the flag code. Speaking of the flag, I'm going to read this to you because, by God, yesterday was 9/11.
Wait. Okay, we're 45 minutes in and we haven't even started talking about the Colorado game.
That's fine. There's not a whole lot to talk about. We kicked their ass, knocked out 2 Sanders out of the game, and I'd say we stepped all over the toes of a third, but never mind. All right, fine. I won't read that. Respect the flag.
I just wanted to. I agree. Respect the flag. And I'm sorry. If there's time at the end, maybe we could do that.
Okay.
But first, we have to talk about this guy.
That is a beast of a human being.
I saved the picture. I just knew we were going to get him.
And his name is boom, 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 boom.
Christian Jones. He's staying in Nebraska.
Where is he from, Minnie?
He's from Omaha.
Where specifically in Omaha is he from, Minnie? You should know this. There was a test.
But I don't know it.
Omaha West Side.
In my head. Omaha West Side. That's
so
right.
Anytime you talk about Christian Jones, or I guess maybe not Christian Jones, but anytime you talk about Omaha West Side, it is obligatory. You got to go like West Side.
I just did. West Side. Is this when we start rapping? Is this the part of the show where we start rapping?
I don't think you could do that in the same show that you were singing Krista Berg's Lady in Red. And yes, I actually know who sings that song. So. Aaron Keene says, well, at least this picture is at 90% crotch. No, because I don't know if he's 18 yet. So next year, come back.
Guys, linebacker. Look at that.
He's beast mode.
On our defense, on our current defense, we have all but 2 are seniors for the starting defense for the Colorado game. We have 2 juniors. This guy looks like he can contribute immediately as a linebacker.
I don't look. He's the number 1 player in the state, the number 23 ranked linebacker in the country. Mm-hmm. I do think. I feel like linebacker. Look, there are generational talents out there, and I'm not disputing that. And I don't know if Christian Jones is generational talent. I got to clear that comment out. I'm so sorry. That's good stuff. Thank you, Yingling, for making my days and nights better. I just feel like the speed of the game, there needs to be a year of transition. Does that make sense? I'm not saying he's not generational. I hope he is. That would be tremendous. I'm trying to think of the last time we had Levante David's probably the last time we had a generational linebacker because he absolutely crushed it. And while I'm not a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, I'm so happy for him that year that he got a Super Bowl ring with Tom Brady because one of the most underrated. He's a captain. I don't know if he's going to – I'd have to look at his stats. He's never been DPOY, but Levante David legit is probably a top 3 favorite Husker for me. That I think is generational talent, and I definitely hope that Christian Jones is the same way. But I still think while he might have the attributes, he might, on paper look or, pass the eye test for being ready to go next year. I think that's a position you really you have to mature into.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he is 6'3", 205 pounds.
Shut up, Michael. Michael
Michael.
Hassman says rule plays freshmen get used to it.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, and check this out. We lose. This is typical Nebraskan right here, because we're always waiting for the other shoe to fall. So we lose 9 starters on D, and Tony White should be a head coach somewhere.
Wait a minute.
So basically, what James Boardman is telling us is that everything's gonna like fall apart next year. I mean,
So that's the thing too. It's not even that I'm going to disagree with the assessment. We do have 9 starters on defense, and yeah, they're upperclassmen, and a lot of them stayed an extra year to do things like what happened this past Saturday night in Lincoln at Memorial Stadium against the Colorado Bufflalos and beating the absolute shit out of them. But we're 2 games in to a 12-game regular season, and then we don't know what the postseason is going to look like for Nebraska. We keep winning. The more games we win, the longer our postseason has the potential to be. Let's not think about what's happening after the season. Let us revel. Please let us revel.
Oh, yeah.
In this moment. And with that, Minnie, I think now's a great time.
Yeah, me too.
With your permission, can we move on to Colorado?
Let's do it.
I want to start with this.
This
happened.
Game. Go ahead. I can't.
I know. We have so much.
I've been saving myself for tonight.
Oh, you have children. I don't know if that's the case. Sorry.
You know what I mean.
So I don't have all the videos or all the pictures uploaded, and I'm sorry about that. Maybe what I'll do, honestly, what I need to do if I had time is do a write-up for Corn Nation about my just all-encompassing first trip to Lincoln. Yeah. But I'm not much of a writer. I'm so much of a writer, Minnie, that I said, "Hey, Minnie, can you?"
I'll write it for you.
Okay, great.
I'll write it for you, and then you just add the pictures.
So, because of the generosity of best friend of the show, Josh Hansen, we had club level seats, yes. And for the entire build up for all this, I thought that the friend of his who I think I met years back, like almost 20 years ago, may or may not have, who has the tickets. I thought that she got the tickets from work and they were no cost tickets. And I thought that Josh got these tickets for free. That was hold on. That was my belief going in, because he's like, "Oh, hey, my friend came through with the tickets." So I thought they were free tickets. What Josh told me, like on Friday, yes, ma'am.
All you needed to do was talk to me about this and I would clue you in.
On the realities of things?
Yes.
Can you just let me
my life that's my life. That's like what I like to live in, is that land right there. But Husker tickets?
Fred, I've been saving myself for tonight. What the fuck is about to happen? Aaron Keene says suddenly awkward.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No, but legit. I thought that these tickets were no cost to Josh tickets. And then Josh told me, he's like, "I've never paid more for tickets than I paid for these tickets." And I was like, damn, this is a hell of a dude.
Hell of a dude.
So we get there after Unity Walk and after, seeing you and Hoss and Diamond Dave and Ty and like, all right, kind of everybody fanning out, going their separate ways. We started walking back around to the entrance so we could get right in because club level. So we got in. The student section's already filling up. I mean, from the very front to the very back, student section.
What time?
Between 4:30 maybe. I mean, like, I feel like other people were waiting in line while we were walking in. So it was wild.
The game starts at 6:30, so that's 2 hours ahead of time.
Yeah, it was wild. And there's a few Colorado players, a few more trickle out, and you have the CU chance from the student section. But I'm going to share this video happened much closer to the tunnel walk. This is my video. I shot this video, so YouTube, I don't want any strikes.
Nice.
This was, and it's only about 16 seconds, but this was some of the electricity that I felt. And by the way, I'm not shouting in this, but you'll hear Josh. I'm sorry. You'll hear best friend of the show, Josh. And
electric.
It was. Wow. And they did, we were blessed. I had forgotten that the 94 team, I believe it was September 17th of 94, was the first ever tunnel walk. And I had forgotten that. So you had the 90.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I double checked the date.
That.
Double checked the date, but I know it was September of 94. So they did the 94 team tunnel walk, and I was talking to Josh. I'm like, I bet they're going to reset. But we've joked in the off season, like, yeah, they need to update the music. I'm not going to lie, not for one tunnel walk, but for 2 tunnel walks. When Alan Parsons Project gets going, and everybody's clapping. I'm doing it right now. I got tears in my eyes.
Look at this. Same. It's true. It just it evokes this deep down emotion. It just gives you so much pride and joy.
I didn't know that I would. I didn't plan. I'm like, I'm gonna go in there and ball like a bitch. But and I remember it was the same type of excitement. And this is gonna sound, I think this is gonna sound bad. I know this is gonna sound bad.
Oh,
but
God.
I remember,
where are we going with this?
No, I remember being overwhelmed in a similar way when my wife was walking down the aisle at the beginning of our wedding.
Oh.
So now if she sees this, she's gonna be like, great, I'm at the like a stupid football game, or however, I don't know. But such was the anticipation. Again, I've not been a lifelong Husker fan, but damn near 20 years. I didn't know, honestly, being where I'm at geographically, if I'd ever make it to Lincoln for a game. I'd always hoped. But both times, and Josh, I'm sorry, BFOTS, Josh Hansen knows, I took my glasses off because I'm old, and I was just doing this, and you get that, I felt, everybody's clap, it is, Fred says it really well. It's a uniting force. We become one single purpose on a crisp fall day. It was, and I told my oldest about this, and God bless him, he's only 8.5 and change. But I said it's a shared experience. And it wasn't just me. I felt 86,000 other people there, and I was, I don't want to say overwhelmed again. I don't try not to overuse that word, but it was for me, it was a moment. It is a seminal memory for me in my life, which is, I'm blessed with 3 amazing children, a wonderful wife, a tremendous career, wonderful family. But if you're a Husker fan and you have a first time at Memorial Stadium moment, I feel like it's going to leave a lasting impression. And I was ready for it, but I didn't necessarily anticipate it.
It should be a night game for sure. If you haven't been to Memorial Stadium, wait till you get to go on a night game, because The light show is fantastic.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Aaron Keene says, then Greg shit on the floor in the moves.
Really?
I did not. There was no force. I didn't. No, I'm good. Jason says, yeah, that's what I was looking for, Greg. Attaboy, thanks for sharing. Katie, not just any Katie, but the Katie, says, honestly, best Husker game I've ever been to in my lifetime. And that's the thing, too,
She's been to a lot. And she's been to a lot.
And what, I know we're going to get into the actual game, and we should. It's probably, we're an hour in. But just the entire, like, I got everything that I could. I got my my Husker hand warmer. I got my runs. By the way, those runs are piping hot. Like, holy shit. I got a souvenir cup because the only offer that you have for pop is a souvenir cup. So I got one, and then I went back after halftime to get more food and another drink. I'm like, you can just refill this one. I'm like, sorry, sir, here's another cup. I said, okay. So I have 2 souvenir cups now, which Garrett was pretty excited to see. They ran out of those, but I did get a Fairbury Frank, and it was so amazing. So let's see. That's the Jason. That's what I was looking for, Greg. Attaboy, thanks for sharing. And let's see. Oh, he also says the oldest is going to be making the next trip, right? I mean, I think he was. So. I told him, I said, hey, buddy, next time I'll take you. He's like, that's okay.
Not yet. He'll want to go.
He'll want to go. I think it'll continue to, build up. So if not, I
loved what Fred said is that it's a crisp fall, like, afternoon, and walking through Nebraska's campus and seeing, like, these groups of girls that remind me of my daughters because they're not that far off in age, and just seeing them all dressed in red and ready to go to the Husker game, and just how cute they were and all these fans. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. It was probably one of the best trips I've ever taken. And it's just because we won, it meant so much, even though it's Colorado, which is not, it just meant so much to dismantle them.
I sent you a link, and now I think we can finally get into the game, an hour plus in. I sent you a link today that best friend of the show, Josh, sent me just last night, I think.
Perfect.
And what it is, I think that the name of the channel on YouTube is Buffed for Prime or something like that, or Buffed in Prime. Anyway, it's a Colorado channel, and they were live streaming or reacting live to the game as it aired on NBC. And I watched the first half. Josh watched the first half. And you can feel the frustration from them as we went.
Did you watch the live chat with it?
No, I just had the video on it. Whatever they were, their chat, their comment section was as frustrated as our comment section was the last, with the exception of last year, like basically the Scott Frost era. It was they've got to go. They're not prepared. Who's watching the 2 people who host the show. One of them, I don't want to say he's a nobody. I'm not big enough to say anybody's a nobody, but I don't think he played for Colorado. The other one did. The other was a defensive back for Colorado in years past, and he's calling out plays that Nebraska offense is about to run. And he's like, you could help me. He's like, you watch film. This is what they're going to do. And he said, this coaching staff's not preparing anybody. So,
here's some comments from the chat. And mind you, they have, quite a huge live chat going on. And within just like the first 5 minutes, people are just bailing. They're like, okay, we're out of here. And even the commentators that were there were like, okay, the only reason we're still here is because there's still people in the chat and we can't turn it off.
I didn't watch after halftime or after the end of the first half.
Insane. Oh, it's priceless. And I wrote Greg a note to tell him thank you, and he's like, "Oh, it was sent to me by Josh, so thank you, Josh." Anytime I'm ever like having a little rough time in life, I think I'm gonna turn that game on and just watch the chat because I'm like, yeah, you guys were awful to us last year. I was there. They were horrible people. Horrible. And they've been horrible in the chat anytime that they've had an opportunity. Now there's not any Colorado people here. Imagine that.
But I'll tell you what, High Wisdom did show up to our overreaction show Sunday night, and took their medicine. So kudos to High Wisdom. Nobody else did. Let's see. Okay. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says, "What is the channel name? It would be fun to listen to again." I'm gonna actually put that in the YouTube. I'm gonna put the direct link in YouTube so that you can find it. But for your convenience down the road, should you ever want to, it is in one word, Buffed in Prime. So, and they are displeased is probably not doing it justice. So,
well, and they should be very displeased because literally, I mean, we knew that they were gonna beat Colorado. There was never a doubt. Yeah.
When you said they, I thought you meant Colorado. So sorry.
No. Yeah. But I just felt like it was interesting to watch as a fan because it was like methodically dismantling a team, just taking apart one section at a time.
It was methodical, like they clinical, surgical, for being able to take care of business.
Yes.
I want to say I don't want to say all three facets of the game, but I do kind of, because without some of those without the Brian Buschini punt that goes down to the 2, you may not get the Tommy Hill pick 6. Mm-hmm. So every they have a phrase for it. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. The type of football that they play.
Smash.
Complimentary football.
Oh yeah.
And you hear that a lot in Chasing 3. And I watched the Chasing 3 for a Colorado game. It was, and here's the thing: when you go back and if you watch that Buffed in Prime video, right away when Ty Robinson starts making his presence known, they remembered that Colorado talked a lot of shit about Ty Robinson last year, and you have to wonder if Ty had this game circled, for him mentally, because I think he took out a lot of frustration on what was becoming a very, I can't even say the word, overwhelmed offensive line. So,
it's almost like those guys have a badge of honor now. And I'm so glad that Rule was very, considerate of that, making sure that they got on the field and played, because, wow, that was a horrible situation to be put in. From the second we walked into that place, I mean, it was just overwhelming, the hatred. And I hated to see a lot of our, younger fan base saying, F you, see you, and all that. I thought that kind of sucked, because I don't think that just makes us look very good. But hey, whatever.
But they're also probably drunk college age kids. So
I know that's the thing. You give them a pass because of that.
And I'll say this, like right before going into the locker room to start the game, Travis Hunter and another player went over there and they were taking it. They're like, oh, showboating. They didn't have a whole lot to say after the game. So if you're gonna,
I know,
maybe that's why I've always tended to be more on the conservative side of shit talking. Is, man, if you shit talking and you back it up, great. But if you shit talking, you can't back it up, you got to eat a lot of crow. But if you don't shit talk, you're just moving on to the next thing,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is so true. So we had a total of 6 sacks by 6 different players.
That's incredible.
And yeah, we had a field goal block by Ty Robinson. You mentioned the pick 6 by Tommy Hill. And it was 28-0. No, 20. Sorry, that's not right. Was it
But it's not wrong.
21-0 at half?
28-0. Nebraska scored all of their
Was
points in the first half.
Oh, we didn't score in the second half?
No,
Okay.
we had 2 Dante Dowdell touchdown runs. We had the pick 6, and we had Ramir Johnson's gift. Well, that's about all we can call it. And I said to Josh, I said, man, when things are going right, everything's going right. And that's what happened. By all accounts, that touchdown that Ramir had should have been an interception going the other way. But, karma's a bitch is about all I can say.
Yeah.
And, the ball bounced out of the hands of the Buffalo player, and Ramir was right there in that tip drill type and took it, scampered in about 10 yards out untouched. And
that saying that you can will things to happen? I feel like they prepared so well in advance, and they had like all that stuff detailed that it just was willed to happen, like that type of a catch.
Football's funny.
It's like magnetism almost. It's so
the oblong shape of the ball means that it's not going to bounce the same way twice,
right?
And it's unpredictable. And
sure,
I'll say this: that play had
Jason Reeves. What did I ever do to you?
You said that I updated the notes to correct the score to 28-0. So I don't know how you got confused. I did my part.
Oh, you're the one who did that.
Yeah.
That's why it threw me, because I'm like.
Because you didn't think I read the notes. Why do you think I requested access to change your notes?
Just because you want to look at it and just make sure my punctuation, spelling's right, knowing you.
I'll be full disclosure. On the notes, I'm not caring about your spelling or punctuation.
You do care.
I do.
Full disclosure, you do care.
Let's see. Aaron Keene says, I guess I suck with no young and drunk pass because I was yelling FCU. I'm okay with that. That's fine.
It's okay.
And I agree.
I'll tell you what's worse.
Oh, you're sorry. I'll say that, Raji. We cannot interrupt the boss.
What's worse than that is, okay, I had really good seats, but the people in front of me, they were like, okay, a dad with his 2 sons and maybe his wife with his daughter. So it's a complete family.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guy was like a referee at some point in his life, but we all think we are referees, right? Every single play, he's standing up, yelling, holding, false start, this, that, the other. And the family, the guys, the boys are also doing that. And honestly, I think that's what started the whole sway to everyone yelling at the refs, and the refs then calling things like 21 penalties total. That's insane.
Yeah. We're not even there yet.
I think it started with the people in front of me.
Oh, you're going to blame them?
I am. It's awful.
Let's see. There was Joe Lilakis says, personally, I enjoy the can of whoop ass that Dowdell, and he does correct himself. Dowdell opened up on Shiloh Sanders. Unfortunate, I guess, that the kid has a broken arm. But there was a comment in here. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Aaron Keene says, how about Dowdell hunting for targets when he was running the ball? I love that in every way. He was not. He made it his goal. He was not going to run around you. He was going to run through you. And he did that to Shiloh on the first drive of the game, and it knocked Shiloh Sanders out. He was going to do it to Travis Hunter on the first on that first touchdown, and Travis Hunter made a business decision and just backed up. He's like, I'm not going to get in the way of that. Did you see replays of that where Travis Hunter just kind of backs off? He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Which that I have other opinions on that.
He's a one-man team. What do you expect? He thinks he is. I don't know. I was actually really disappointed with but that's why I don't like them to begin with, is their sportsmanship sucks.
Yeah, you had one of them leaving before the end of the game. You had the team went over right when they came out of the tunnel. They all took a knee on the north end zone and were chirping at the fans in the end zone. So, yeah. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, had to leave and come back. What I missed a little bit. You'll have to come back and watch it. James Borman says, have you seen the x-ray of his arm? Damn, I have not.
No, I didn't.
Melissa says
that.
He had surgery today. I'm going to do real quick. See if I can find it. You can talk while I'm looking at.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Okay, Fred Sacco says Travis Hunter looked like Craig not stopping Minnie on a long snapper rant.
It's a business decision.
That's the look. That was the look right there. We all saw it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Greg.
Raji says Colorado, me, myself, and I LLC. I tell you what, I don't. That was, and I made that point last week on the show, is they had essentially three players, and I said Shedeur, Travis, and Jimmy Horn Jr., and then they had a team full of Jags. Jimmy Horn Jr. was a non-factor in this game, largely because our defensive front seven was in the backfield so frequently. Shedeur had no time to get comfortable. Now, you can say, yeah, they opened it up a little bit more in the second half. Travis Hunter, I'll say, I know he had the touchdown, but he was a non-factor. I was not overly impressed by him. And this is honestly a great comment. Let's see if I can find it here. Let's see.
Yeah,
living
Travis
in Omaha,
Hunter
David.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Okay. Living in Omaha, David Matney said, how much has Shedeur's stock gone down after throwing his O-line under the bus? That's a part of it. I also think that he just got exposed by what turned out to be a pretty damn good defense. You look at what he did versus North Dakota State, and then when you look at, this, he took – I know they could say, well, he got banged up on a targeting call, something like that. My honest, firm belief is that he took himself out of this game. 23 of 38 for 244 yards, a touchdown, yes, a pick six. He was sacked 5 times. This game did nothing if the goal for Dion was to get his son to be the number 1 draft pick, he's going to have an uphill battle now. He's going to be, I can't remember the name of the mythological character from Greek mythology whose penance, whose underlife in the underworld, like he has to push a boulder uphill every day and then it just falls down. He makes no headway. But that's, I feel like where Shedeur Sanders is he is he's the way he played and the way I think he could. It's threefold. He didn't have a great game. He left early under circumstances.
Here, this is it. This is.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron King, Sisyphus, which sounds like very similar to something you'd probably also get in Boulder. But
you said it. I didn't.
I've never been to Boulder, so I'm good. But the way he played, the way he left, look, the couple of minutes would not have made a difference for if you were actually going to check him out on for concussion protocol or anything like that. And the way I can't really see the countdown. the way he handled the post game and throwing his offensive line on the bus, like, it'd give, if I were a general manager, it'd give me pause at the next level.
Here's the thing. Truly, and we were saying this earlier in the season, but you forgot because you're Greg. Most of their offensive line is new, plus they have a new offensive line coach.
Right.
So, and we said, Greg, that it takes time to gel. The line has to be able to have, all that experience together to be able to gel. That's part of the problem right there. The second part of the problem, as you mentioned, was the attitude, okay? But we should not be surprised because do you remember checking out that well-off media, the one that Dion's son runs?
No.
And last year, he came up with this well-off media, right? And so now he's like recording all the Boulder stuff, everything that goes on with Prime. They also record the ride from the plane to the stadium for the TCU game.
Okay.
And the guys are in there and they're all dancing, hip-hopping and whatever. That's fine. Great. Have fun. But then on top of it, they get carried away and they're like flipping off people driving by, just yelling profanity. And I'm like, what the heck? What is wrong with these people? Why are they doing that? Like, it's just provoking.
Yeah.
That's their attitude from the get-go.
It's the word that because there's a lot of Colorado media, legacy media, traditional media, however you define it, surprise, surprise, who were not happy with Coach Prime before and we're less happy with him now. Not necessarily calling out the saying he's on the hot seat, but we knew it going in. We discussed it last week that this game was going to be a clash of cultures and approaches. You have Matt Rule, who's building a foundation, who's getting the high school kids, and he'll pluck some portal kids where he needs, a spot, but he's getting high school kids. He's developing. We love it because we haven't seen it in Nebraska for so long. And then you have what happened in Boulder, whereas, let's go out and get 5 new defensive linemen. They never played together. That's fine. Bryce Benhart, I think, has played and has started a record number of games for Nebraska.
Yes,
period.
He has.
43, 45, something like that. I mean, it's going to continue to grow.
Lost track.
Yeah. And so,
it's a good thing. It's a great thing. I'm so excited about the things that we're building here. So now that we have dismantled the team and it feels good to actually do that and to say that, what do we have to look forward to now?
I would like you to read this comment by Fred, please.
Okay, Fred said,
and it's clean. It's a clean comment, by the way. There's no funny business on the back end.
Dipped out, but as they say, those who give respect get respect. This is why Colorado gets none of mine. Fuck them now and forever.
And you'll appreciate this, Minnie. Like, this might be the thing that I say that makes you the happiest of the entire show. The Raiolas are still undefeated against Colorado.
Yeah, I know. The Raiolas are freaking awesome. Any game that we have, I know what you're saying. Any game that we have Dylan Raiola playing, we actually should be thanking our lucky stars because that kid is, it's hard for me not to talk about him.
Well, let's talk about him. It's okay.
Now everybody's talking about him. And
he's not your secret anymore. Dylan had a great game. He was 23 of 30, 185 yards and a touchdown. The longest being the 36-yard, which I believe was to Jalen Lloyd.
Check this out.
Jason, stop it.
He's like fired up. Jeez. Wow, Jason just had it like
We're not going to tolerate that, Jason. All right.
piss and vinegar tonight. Jeez.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Okay.
I think the rules on YouTube have changed. You're not allowed to say vinegar.
And or Donovan. Okay. Anyways,
I'm just being a shithead. I don't know if you know that about me, Minnie. I'm a shithead.
can I tell one of my stalking stories before we move on to you and I?
Wait, did you say stalking or stalking?
Stalking?
Okay, because I mean it's not Christmas Eve yet, so the stockings will be hung by the chimney with care. But let's talk about you stalking. Who are you stalking this time?
Just so you know, that is the one kind of like accent I have is my L's tend to drop. And I got it because my grandmother grew up in Oklahoma. So excuse me, Greg.
God bless your grandma.
I talk. Thank you.
Your grandma. I bet you she's a sweet. I bet you she was a sweet lady.
She was amazing. That's who I was named after.
Could she? That's right. Could she bake like nobody's business?
Mm-hmm. Peach cobbler. Delish.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Tell me your stalking story.
My stalking story. So, you guys know that I'm all about everything Nebraska. So when I heard that Miss Julie Rule, who is Matt Rule's wife, was opening up a hair salon called the Dry Bar. You guys all heard me talk about it. I quickly scheduled an appointment for when I knew I was going to be in Lincoln.
That's a damn deep cut, Fred, by the way.
What?
Fred says Minnie's grandma stalked Jack Mildren.
Who's that?
Jack Mildren was an All-American quarterback at University of Oklahoma, played for the Baltimore Colts and New England Patriots, and is the 13th Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma. So he was the Dylan of Grandma Minnie's day.
Jason Reeves, you better knock it off, because that is the one thing. My grandmother never even drank alcohol, except for the one time when she was 7 years old, and because she was sick and she had like whiskey. Scarlet fever. Yes. And it was called Wildcat whiskey. And she said that she woke up the next day and the fever was gone.
But apparently mildly hereditary, because now you have scarlet fever of a different type. See what I did there? I'm very punny.
I do. You are. That was pretty good.
I'm actually very proud of myself on that one.
Listen, I scheduled this appointment and I go in because, of course, all I want to do is just support Nebraska, anything Nebraska, right? And much to my surprise, guess who I see? I walk in the door and immediately I see Julie Rule sitting in the corner getting her hair done, and Matt Rule and Julie Rule's two beautiful daughters getting their hair done early in the morning. They're all wearing their Husker gear, like decked out, just looking as cute as can be. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty awesome. And then I go back to get my hair washed. And guess who stops me on the way? Mrs. Rule. Mrs. Rule. And she tells me, I just love your dress. Because, I have my red dress on. And I'm like, thank you. And I came all the way from Phoenix and I'm just a fan, yada, yada. Well, then I'm getting my hair done later. And she comes and hangs out with me and starts talking to me about the team and the things that they were doing the night before and how the girls were making shakes for the team the night before, and how this is the thing that I took away from it. She tells me that she thinks something special is going to happen that day. And she says it like she's holding something back, like she can't say. But she said, I have a good feeling. If we
Well, it would
blew
have
them
been
out.
horrible. It would have been horrible if she would be like, I think we're going to fucking lose.
Well, she didn't have to talk about it at all.
No. Now, if I recall, when we were doing the game day communication and coordination for Corn Nation, you were like, I'm down here at South Point getting a blowout, right? Is that for your hair?
Yeah.
Isn't that it's a style, right? I'm not. And who would have thought? Who would have thought it had been not the only blowout of the day? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? 28-10, everybody.
Greg, that was perfect.
Fred says she told Minnie at the hair salon, if we die, DYE, we die. I'll have
Pretty
you know.
good too.
I don't think there's a single gray hair that Minnie has to address. So.
Oh, thank you.
See, I could be nice too.
Yeah. Tell me more. Tell me more.
You're short.
Okay, never mind. Anyways, that was so great.
That's all.
You guys
that's
know
all
I love that.
That's all I can say on the show. There are other things. Oh, hold on. Can you see the private chat over on the side? This is some inside baseball, folks. I'm gonna type something to Minnie, and you're just gonna have to watch her reaction.
What?
And you can hear the typing, can't you?
Yeah. What?
By the way, don't say this out loud.
It's a lot of typing.
All right, go read that.
Greg, what do you mean uncomfortable?
The
weird.
The speech, the Matt Rule speech.
Oh, well, you know what? Other people liked you doing that. So there.
At least we could qualify and be like, I don't have a Matt Rule impression.
You do, actually.
But if he saw it,
everyone here see it?
If he saw it, be like, I like the cut of that guy's jib. Let's get him into town. Then I'd be like, let's go, Matt Rule. Here's the thing. So I didn't know. I was watching I think it was probably honestly after the Colorado game when I watched the UTEP game Chasing 3, and I've since, last night I watched the Colorado Chasing 3. Yeah. That ready room that they have before the tunnel walk is nuts. Like that is, everything kind of comes to it. There's a siren blaring. It says ready room. And Matt Rule is so calm and composed in that space. I got fired up.
He walks back. He walks back and forth, and then he's like, you know what? I don't have any words prepared for you guys.
Fuck you, Jason.
What? What? I don't get it. What is that?
Because I said if Matt Rule said to me, I like the cut of your jib, which is sailor talk. And then Jason Reese says, my jib's cut. And I know what he means because we're birthday brothers. So.
Okay.
All right.
What is jib? Jib. J-I-B? Isn't that gibberish?
No.
Short for gibberish?
That's G-I-B-B-E-R-I-S-H.
I'm just asking if it's short for gibberish.
The phrase cut of your jib is an English idiom that refers to someone's appearance or demeanor. For example, you might say, I like the cut of his attitude. The phrase originated in the 18th century with sailing navies when the shape of a ship's jib sail could indicate its nationality before the national flag was visible. For example, fresh jibs were shorter than English jibs, creating a more acute angle in the clew. The phrase was originally used to describe someone being recognized by the shape of their nose, but by the early 1800s, the term was being used figuratively to express like or dislike for someone.
Oh, the shape of their nose, huh? The nose. Okay.
I have never heard of it as a shape of the nose thing. I've always thought it was a nautical reference. So
Okay. Cleanest thing he's ever commented? Really?
That's not true, Jason. You have some real clean gems. You have some real family friendly all age gems throughout the history of the Chatterfields, and by God, we appreciate you.
Okay, Greg, can we get on with this getting ready for you and I? Did you watch what I asked you to watch?
No, but time out. You were going to give the Matt Rule speech in the ready room.
No,
Weren't you?
I don't have it written down. I only did the beginning part. But my favorite part, and I think it's a lot of people's favorite part, was when Chatterfield said, "Hey guys, do you like apples? Do you like apples?
How do you like them apples?" Do you know what that movie? What movie that is from?
Good Will Hunting? Is that what that
Good
is?
Will Hunting. To which Ben Affleck and Matt Damon received an Academy Award for screenwriting for that movie.
The one movie I watched. I'm so glad.
Wait a minute, time out. Hold on. We're going to stop. We're derailing the show right now.
No.
Are you telling me?
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's you and I. We'll get there. We don't have a whole lot to talk about because I didn't watch the video and I apologize. I'm sorry. Have you seen The Shawshank Redemption?
I watched. Yes, I have.
Okay.
It's a great movie. Fantastic.
Honest to God, I believe until very recently, that was the highest rated movie cumulative score on both IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. Shawshank Redemption. I need to go back and rewatch it. Moving on. Are we done talking about Colorado?
You know that. I think that Colorado is, I think we're done with them and they're done with us for a while.
Corey C2 Protect is also about done with us. He says, "I'm about to check out. This sounds like AM radio."
Thank you, Corey. We are getting to football next.
You can't trust me. I worked in AM radio in another life. I worked in terrestrial radio. You don't get to say fuck on AM radio. They definitely don't let you do it.
But that's not the point. The point is we are here to talk about football and all things involving football. And Shawshank Redemption does not relate to football. And I'm not sure Good Will Hunting does, except for, Chatterfield threw it in there.
Okay. Chasing. I also like how they have different through Chasing 3. They have different not position, but like you have the offensive speech and the defensive speech. You had Tony White talking to the defense, and while you're hearing that, you have Marcus Satter. You can hear him in the distance be like, "Well, how do you like them?" And then they all come together for that calm before the storm from Matt Rule. It was tremendous.
Yeah, that was, and I did like what Coach White said about the butterflies. Was that this one or was it the last one? I think it was the last one where he said, "I know you have those butterflies in your stomach." Because I always have those butterflies in my. Do you know I couldn't sleep the night before? That's why I had to go to my hotel room because I had to try and get some rest. And sure enough, I woke up like every single hour. I get those butterflies the night before a game and all the way up to a game. And I'm not even playing. So I can imagine how these guys feel. And he's like, "You need to put those aside and know that you earned the right to be here."
And I love Rule's philosophy in this game of strutting out the veterans. He's like, "Hey, those guys who were in Boulder last year, you guys we're calling on you. Ring the bell, kick their ass." I'm paraphrasing, but Now hold on. First of all, BFOTS Josh Hansen says, "You guys remember when Craig wouldn't watch Chasing 3? I wouldn't. It's just I didn't make the time. I'm sorry. I've learned from my past mistakes." And Jason Reeves, quoting Good Will Hunting, says, "It's not your fault, Greg. It's not your fault. It's not your fault." And then we have Brent Wolf, by the way, who says, It's your fault, Greg.
It always is your fault, Greg. I agree with Brent.
And I owe Brent, and realistically, you owe Brent an apology too, Minnie. Because if memory serves me right from last Friday, Brent got to Kincaiders right as the coronation train was rolling out.
Oh,
And
no.
yeah,
Oh, that stinks.
and he'd already bought a beer, so he couldn't just like walk with us. So I felt really bad, and I was like, "Yeah, we're all heading to Barry's because that's where you said you were," and just trying to, keep the team together.
I know.
And then everybody changed their mind, switched course, and went to I think JJ Hooligans or something like that. So Brent, we owe you a sincere apology.
Next time, we'll buy you a beer. Greg will bring you a Yingling.
Cheers.
He's Matt Rule's older brother. There you go, Brent Wolf.
He's told countless times that he looks like the head man. I don't know. There's no Ewok or Patrick Duffy leg about you.
My older brother looks like, my younger brother, my younger brother looks like Matt Rule too.
That's something you probably just say to people to get them to think that you're a Nebraska fan.
No, it's true. In fact, I've sent my younger brother pictures of Matt Rule, and I'm like, doesn't this look like you?
Fred says, yeah, Maureen said Minnie disappeared, and I was like, she must have smelled Dylan's Aqua Velvet and ran off.
No, that's not it.
No, that's totally
I'm so
not
tired.
It.
I was up at 4 a.m. So
well,
that's early.
That's true. That is a time.
Okay, Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna play another game on Saturday.
That's how the season works. 7:05, which is ridiculous.
7:05?
Yeah. Pop needs a nap before that one.
I thought it was 6:30. Are you sure?
No, it's 7:05. 100% 7:05. Also,
100%.
By the way, I love how the Chatterfields are awarding points based on the depth of cuts of references. So Jason Reeves to Fred says Aqua Velvet deep cuts plus 2 points. We need an official scorekeeper. By the way, it's not going to be one of us because I'm clearly not going to do it. And Minnie's running the show, so we need an official scorekeeper for all the deep cut points starting next week. So if we could get a scorekeeper. I'm telling you, it's not 6:30.
I don't argue with Melissa ever, and neither should you.
Here's the thing. I've learned not to argue with Melissa, but I know that when I bring facts, then I feel pretty good about where I'm at. Son of a bitch, it's 6:30. I could have sworn it was 7 o'clock at 7:05. I'm sorry, everybody. You all deserve better than me.
He didn't believe me. He didn't believe me. It took you chiming in.
Yeah, that's fair and accurate. It is a 7 o'clock game the following week against Illinois. I don't know if I was confused. I apologize to everybody. Yes, okay, 6:30. We get it. James and Justin and Michael. I'm wrong. Let's move on.
6:30 Central Time, Lincoln Time. Here's the key to playing you and I.
Break it down for us, Minnie.
You just got to stop the run. Hence, our big old defensive line was the thumbnail for this show, Ty and Nash.
That should be on my tombstone. How I bring the facts, ... Son of a bitch, Greg, 9:13. It's technically 9:12 still here in God's favorite time zone, Central Time Zone. That being said,
okay,
it should be on my epitaph.
Good.
Josh, write that down. Because I'm sure I'll die before you.
I don't. Well, what if you guys die together?
Be awkward. What were we doing that caused the death?
I don't.
That would be a great shirt.
Places together.
That would be we go great. We go places together like Lincoln because he lives 1,000 miles almost from me.
Okay. Anyways, I was gonna volunteer.
Josh, send me that so that I can put that on the shirt.
It's on your. Okay. Can we talk about the running backs here? Okay.
I really think we should. We need to talk about Ty Edwards because in the last couple of games for University of Northern Iowa, Ty Edwards has already rushed for 315 yards. And at the same time, you have Amari Pesek-Hickson, who has run for 186 yards. Minnie, that's over 500 yards on the ground just in 2 games.
For just 2 players. These 2 are seniors, and they're the reason why UNI is ranked number 1 in FCS. So
what I like about that is, go ahead, Minnie. I'm so sorry.
A real opponent. No, we have a real opponent. Granted, most of the other, positions are a little smaller and maybe less, but these guys are pretty dang good.
I like that our quote unquote bloodbath game isn't a bloodbath game. Like this, no disrespect to UTEP, as much disrespect as possible to Colorado, but this might be our greatest challenge of the early year. Honestly, you have the number 23 team FBS versus the number 1 team in the FCS, and what I like though is, and we saw quite a bit, if Nebraska continues to stop the run like they have, then UNI is going to be in big trouble. And realistically, we should, right? No disrespect to UNI. I keep calling them UNI because I don't know what they are. Panthers?
Panthers, yes.
Shit, are they really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Go me. Oh, wait. Michael Assman says number 21 in FCS unless you mean in rushing.
No. What did I say?
You said number 1.
Oh, well, they are, I think.
But in rushing, not overall, but just in rushing, right? Like in statistics?
Maybe it's just number 1 in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Maybe. So currently South Dakota State recognized. South Dakota State is ranked number 1 in the AFCA FCS
Look at all these Googlers. They're trying to take your job.
They're Greggling. How dare they? Michael Hassman, what's up? Joe Lilakis says UNI ranked 24th in FCS. Their run offense is number 4. So, by the way, Joe Lilakis sent us a picture this week. I'm going to try to get it saved and uploaded for the benefit, for your benefit, Minnie.
Look at this. Look at this.
I can't.
We got a Buffalo bomber.
Uh-oh. Are they at least being nice? Do they recognize their place in the world? High Wisdom. Well, Huskers. So High Wisdom we saw last week. And High Wisdom was talking their fair amount of shit. And High Wisdom came back Sunday night. And it's like, yeah, we suck at football. So they ate the crow.
You suck very much, yes.
Huskers suck. JK, good game. You guys deserve that win against Coach Sanders, and his son embarrassed us again as CU fans with their play and decorum off the field. And everybody, by the way, High Wisdom, just so you know, you are not forgotten. We have Aaron Keene says, High Wisdom, props for showing up, my guy. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, hey, High Wisdom is back. Jason Reeves, hang in the wisdom. We feel you hang in. I think it's supposed to be hang in there, wisdom. We feel your pain. Fred says, thanks, High Wisdom. I feel for you. You have to follow that train wreck. Hey, High Wisdom.
The friendliest chat probably in all of college football. Right here on Thursday nights. Greg, do you need more? Gosh. Get that last drop of your Yingling.
Did that show up well for camera?
Yes.
Perfect.
In a weird way, yes.
Well, Minnie, I'm a weird guy.
Oh, yes, we know.
High Wisdom says, of course, I'll respect you guys. Are a great fan base. Wish we had that. So here's the thing. I talked to Haas was surrounded, not to say surrounded. He had Buffalo fans around him who were very good, very knowledgeable, and High Wisdom, no offense, but like also very underimpressed with the current standings of the situation in Boulder. We've been there. I think where you are now, and maybe gosh dang, I wonder if I can pull this. What I say was Buffed in Prime. High Wisdom. I don't know if you know about Buffed in Prime. It's a Colorado fan channel. They stream, like, we feel for you. Like, we were where you are a couple of years ago with a coach. You're like, kind of, preparation. What is that? So we understand.
We do, because there's okay, as Coach Rule said on Saturday after the game, he said, and this is brilliance speaking. Sometimes you have to go through those horrible times to let your old self die. Craig, quit doing that when I'm talking. The zip.
It's the bag. It's the bag. I need.
Can you get a quieter bag?
No. Does it make you feel any better if I tell you that I'm not wearing shorts with a zipper, that I'm just wearing like comfy gym shorts? Like,
oh gosh, I thought you were gonna say something else. Okay, dang, what? This was a deep thing. I was restating that Coach Rule said. Okay, he said sometimes you have to go through some bad times in life and in football to die to that old person so your new self can be reborn. And that's what I hope for you guys. High Wisdom.
Raji says, High Wisdom, you're making it really hard to hate Colorado fans. Stop the compliments. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, also, I like High Wisdom, but fuck Colorado. I don't feel for them. Also, don't read that. Fred wants to know, we don't need to know how the sausage is made or how's the Greg.
Okay.
That's a good beer. It's a really good beer. Here's the problem. I have an abundance of Yingling, so I don't have to ration it to like 2 cans a week. This is my 4th beer, Minnie. I'm going to have to pee.
So
actually, I've got to pee right now.
Okay, so let's do score predictions real quick.
Oh, shit. Are we going to get out of this before 2 hours? But we have we have 27 starred comments.
You're the one who just said you have to use the restroom.
Yeah, but I drove 500.7 miles from Syracuse, Nebraska to Belleville, Illinois nonstop. So let's go more minutes. All right. We're going to. All right, Minnie, I'm looking at the start.
Did you have an adult diaper on?
No. I honestly didn't even realize. I didn't even have to have the urge until I got outside of Chesterfield, Missouri. And by that point, I was like, I'm only an hour away. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, but I also need to use the restroom.
Well, I can handle this if you need to go powder your nose.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Oh, shit, she actually left. Okay. I'm so blurry. Is that me or you? Be really weird. Brett Wolf says, I just used the restroom. What'd I miss? Nothing. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, bathroom break, everyone. All right, I'm starring your predictions. Fred says, Greg, you should have got wine at Rich Harvest, beer at Rock Hopper, and pizza at Bread Dough. Syracuse is great. We have a Bread Dough in a town near me. What I did in Syracuse, don't laugh, is I went to church. And I went to Casey's for fuel, put some air in my tires because, cool air and lower tire pressure. Got 2 donuts and a breakfast sandwich. Off I went. Yes, my fat head is it just me or is it blurry? I don't know how to fix that. So, Jason Reeves says, fellas, raise your hand if you ever peed in your under desk trash can or in a bottle driving down the highway. Never done that. When I lived in Nebraska and had to drive to Lincoln, I always stopped at North Platte. I always used to say, what do I used to say? I know this. This is not a difficult thing. Oh, empty one tank, fill up another. That's what I used to say. So, yeah, I don't know what the blurriness is about. I also don't know how to fix it. So, there's nothing that's going to fix this because it's just me. Clean your camera lens. I don't think that worked. Raj is like, you guys leave your chair to me. See if that actually works. Son of a bitch. Here we go. I thought it was my vision.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Minnie.
All right.
We did not get to a single starred comment yet.
Oh God. And I rushed back.
Well, I didn't know. So when you stepped out, my face got really blurry. Like my whole entire screen got blurry. But it's clear now. So I don't know if I've been blurry all day. Fred says, Greg, armor all your cranium. Be like PJ Fleck, poised. Fred, you just reminded me.
Shellac it.
Fred, you just reminded me of what was quite possibly my third favorite memory of the whole weekend. So on Saturday night, when we're at Single Barrel.
First.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Minnie. There was the game. We
were not at Single Barrel. No.
We were at Single Barrel.
You were.
Single Barrel.
No. You're wrong.
Where would we have been?
We were in my hotel room.
No. This was after the game.
Josh, you were there.
Yes. BFOTS, Josh Hansen. Wait, Greg, didn't Minnie say? Yes. After the game, she said that Dylan showed a lot of poise.
No, I didn't say Dylan. I said that about Mrs. Rule.
Are you saying I'm misremembering something?
Yes, absolutely. Because remember, I said she is the most warm and welcoming person. And I am so glad to have her as Matt Rule's wife because she's just like exactly what you want somebody to be like. Just that, big hug with class. She's just a great. So that is why I use that word. And I'll probably never use the word again. One time.
Well, we appreciate. Aaron sees. Aaron King says, here comes Greg and his facts again. Look, if it's 2-1, if the parties who were there are also the parties who were here, and BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I think it was hotel pregame, then I guess it was hotel pregame, and I'm sorry.
Jeez, that's twice.
I'm allowed to
I have
look.
To be like, I'm like on a witness stand. I need my like the witnesses have to be.
Josh also says she also talked about her groin and it was weird. So
what? No, I did not, Josh. Okay, moving on. Score predictions. That's
Michael Hassman says James Williams was a walk-on, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And by the way, if you didn't watch our overreaction, myself, Haas, and this week we had Jake, Big Game Jake, as we're calling him. Haas says that James Williams may be Nebraska's most effective, most impressive pass rusher since Randy Gregory. Go back, watch that episode, watch that video for everything. But, it's big things for that young man. That's, like Hassman says here, he's going to be a beast.
He was offsides for one of the plays.
Was he, though, or did he just get a really nice jump?
Oh, no, he really was.
Sounds like something a Colorado Buffalo fan would say.
No. I mean, you have to just – he's young. But one mistake, geez. He's just excited.
All right. We have Jimmy McNutty. We have some back-to-back-to-back questions from Jimmy McNutty, and I'm so excited because these are questions for Greg. Like the first one, question for Greg. Do you think that Haas could coordinate an entire football team as an offensive coordinator, GBR?
Ooh.
I'll say this, Mr. X's and O's Haas Reuter may be one of the best football minds that's not in the game. He's probably better than a lot of the football minds that are in the game, but opportunity has not presented itself.
Like Colorado.
Yeah, like Pat Shermer. So a lot of people don't know this, but Haas went back a few years ago, sought out his graduate degree and his post-grad. He went to UNO for his undergrad, finished up at UNL. Part of that was he pursued a job that would, or a degree that would lend itself to being able to work with the football program. Now, that hasn't happened yet, but honest to God, one of the greatest X's and O's minds you will ever find, ever. I am so blessed. Just tremendous individual. Jimmy also says, who would win in a fight, Greg or a Hurricane? I'm going to go Hurricane on that one.
For sure.
Thanks, Minnie. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Minnie, while I'm looking at the star, thank you. While I'm looking at the star comments, if you see anything in the live comments column that you want to address, then go ahead and okay.
BFOTS, Josh Hansen. Josh Hansen, since you've already kind of abbreviated everything else, why don't you just abbreviate your initial, like use your initials and do BFOTSJH?
Don't give him
much
ideas.
Easier. Anyways, he says about Haas, Dr. Offense knows his shit.
It's true.
He said just like that.
Shit. Was it? It sounds like Cat Williams, right? Shit. So,
and then Brasker Rascal joins us. Hello.
Scott.
I know. And he says James Williams was one of the walk-ons that came from one of Earl's tryout camps. That's right. Didn't he come last summer? Last summer. Yeah.
I don't know those details. But regardless.
Thank you for the reminder there.
Aaron Keene says in response to Jimmy McNutty, what if it was Hurricane Greg? Hurricane Greg versus Greg. Who wins? My money's still on Hurricane Greg, but as long as Greg is a winner, it's a good day. It is a good day. All right. Okay. Thank you. Roger Moore, Tony White will be the CU head coach next year. Shut your damn dirty whorish mouth.
Roger Moore. Wow.
That one's out of context.
Does he do a better job?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on. Because he actually prepares. This one's out of context. No offense. I'm going to skip it, but I do like the I guess I'm not going to skip it. Joe Laleka says he would probably get rolled backwards pre-snap like Ben Scott did. Yeah, that offsides with contact penalty was just kind of fun. That one, That's the kind of penalty that makes you forget about Jay Cotton's falling backwards in the timber fashion. So, Jimmy McNutty wants to know, did either of you lose your voice at the game? Minnie?
Yes. Yes, I'm still getting it back.
So, my voice has bounced back. Apologies to everyone, right? It came back probably by midday Monday, maybe Monday afternoon. So I mentioned, I didn't have much of nobody had a voice. Excuse you. Nobody really had a voice after the game Saturday night when we were at Single Barrel, and I'm getting my timelines all mixed up with what I thought when I thought Minnie said certain words. And then Friday morning, got up, got a shower, got out, and like I mentioned, I did go to church. And when you're trying to sing at church and you can't really sing because you don't have a voice, good thing I didn't have to talk to anybody really for the next 6.5 hours. So I did lose my voice. I came back a couple days later. So Melissa has a question, Minnie, for me about you.
Okay.
Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Because we all know that Minnie's a little on the bougie side. She,
What?
she doesn't think she's better than us outwardly, but she knows. It's like, I'm slumming it here on Thursday nights. So Melissa asks, hey, Greg, did Minnie drink with her pinky up? Yes. Actually, she drank with both pinkies up. She was like this. Like,
okay, Greg.
and a good time was had by all. DJ Cruz said, hey, Minnie, it was cool. So cool to meet you.
It was so cool to meet you, DJ Cruz.
Do you remember DJ Cruz? Be honest.
I'll click on his picture.
Can you do that?
No, I can't.
Aha.
Is that his name? Is that his name, DJ Cruz?
It's his stage name, like DJ Wicka Wicka. Sorry, that's horrible. I apologize to everybody, all the DJs out there.
I do know. You know what? I know who DJ Cruz is, and he is my new BFF. It's true. Besides you, Greg.
Okay, sure. I thought the show was going to end right there.
Obviously. Duh.
All right.
Right?
Fred Sacco wants to know, Minnie, serious question. That's not even all true. Trust me, I've been replaced. Serious question. Were you close enough to smell Dayton's Axe body spray?
I was.
I remember Axe body spray. I think the scent that I used in high school was called Phoenix. MK wants to know, Greg, will it be an annual pilgrimage? TBD.
Yes, it will.
Okay. Somebody else is paying for it? Yep.
Greg.
I'm kidding.
No,
it was a tremendous atmosphere, tremendous weekend. Honestly, like I said, I'll be back. I don't know. We'll see. TBD. Fred says, anyone else find it ironic Minnie stayed at The Graduate?
Ironic how?
The Dustin Hoffman movie?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Greg and Fred.
Like, don't blame me. Don't blame me for that. That's all Fred.
Oh, it's your fault too.
Jason Reeves says, I never used Axe. I showered instead. Greg's Axe body spray was titled Desperation. Maybe. Greg's DJ name is DJ Tone Deaf. Thank you. And Aaron Keene says the DJ got lost in a haze of White Claws. Sad.
So sad.
Fred says that you did not drink with your pinky up from what he saw, and he was impressed.
Thank you, Fred.
We all know sometimes.
I don't think he even saw me drinking, to be honest. The drinks at Kincaidor were so high in alcohol. I couldn't drink them and be coherent. So I poured it out and put water in it.
I don't do church choir, But you just pass through, and hey, they say the opening hymn is going to be on, can be found in your book number 300 and whatever 65, and you do your best to sing because it's for the Lord, man. And we go all kinds of places. This is going to be a very weird show. Mr. Raji, take us there. PTW again. What you got for us? Freshman Player of the Week?
I highlighted that because Justin Raji and I are also BFFs. We go way back, him and I.
You can't have more than 2 BFFs. Now you got to pick. You got me, you've got Justin, and you got DJ. Who's out? And if it's me, you finish this show on your own, young lady. Yeah.
Well, you were the okay.
Yep.
But let me just explain to you why you might agree about Justin. I have to tell you, Justin and I got together when we were concerned about Tony White possibly leaving. Like this was probably like the second game in last year, and so we came up with the phrase PTW, and this is what it stands for: Pay Tony White. And guess what? It came true.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Did he get really far?
Pay Tony White. Yeah, he got really far. Like we I think him and I together, we were able to get Tony White. How much does he make now? 3 million or something? I don't know. Something crazy. Yeah.
Is it new like as of today?
No, this was
Okay.
At the end of the season. Because remember we were worried about him leaving. Yeah. But we're saying pay Tony White again so that he stays another year.
BFOTS Josh Hansen says my mother didn't name me initials. And also Josh says in regards to James Williams wasn't offsides, timed it too well, and the ref crew was shit. Yeah, we didn't get into the look. We don't necessarily need to relitigate the horrific second half officiating. I don't want to, but I do agree with Jason Reeves. Pay Tony White all the monies. Harkening back to another late 90s.
Should we come up with our own little phrase here? At Five Heart, I'm just asking because everyone seems to agree. Okay, what? Are you frozen?
No, I was gonna say harkening back to another late 90s Matt Damon movie called Rounders, where he is trying to play Texas Hold'em his way through school, and he's like, school's not for me. But you have John Malkovich as a Russian, I don't want to call him a mob boss, but he's a Russian. He hosts the games. And when Matt Damon wins, spoiler alert for this movie that's easily 25 years old. Yeah, thank you, James Borman. LGT, let Greg talk. So this movie that's 25-year-old, spoiler alert, when Matt Damon wins and you have John Malkovich, who already has a horrible Russian accent, and he's like, pay that man his money. That's what we need to do, Tony White. We need to pay that man his money. Put it on a shirt.
What? Okay, people.
Why did you start that comment?
Fred Sacco? That one?
Yes. Did you read that?
Because I don't actually have it as a screensaver.
No,
but
read it.
I do have it here for everyone.
Read it.
Oh, I can't read that. But for everyone that's here and viewing this, you can read it, and there's your screensaver. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
That just makes me feel worse about my situation.
What's your situation?
I'm not going to get onto that right now. Lord.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
All right. Don Dre says, Greg, I've seen your impression of Matt Rule. It was great. You should try to get one of those big checks from Nebraska business offices to share with the Chatterfields. If they send me a check, I will disperse it via Venmo in 10-cent increments to everybody. I don't think the athletic department's gonna be sending me a check, but thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Yes,
That was a pretty good impression.
that
Really
makes,
good.
I don't know. It was
I think you could work on the intensity a little more in some of those words. Practice it a little more. Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right. We're gonna. My eyeballs are still float. So
More
we're gonna.
predictions.
We have 18 more starred comments. No, we're gonna.
Oh
we
my
are honest.
gosh, Greg.
This is what we do. You and or I have started these comments for a reason, and we are going to make sure that we acknowledge the tremendous individuals who are here with us, giving up their Thursday night as well. Okay, here we go. Justin Rogers says, "Oh, the just released. I'm guessing the drone tour of the Tom Osborne Legacy Complex. They just released it, Justin.
We have to look.
When it's after 11 o'clock, I'm gonna need you to spell things correctly. So, because I gotta be." Fred says, as we drove home Friday night, Maureen says several times, "I hope we win for all your friends who came in for this game. That'd be awesome for them." And that is a super touching, sentimental, and awesome comment.
And very classy girl right there.
100 points. If we're still giving out points, 100 points for Maureen. Michael Asmus says, "I miss the days of Keith Jackson and other quality commentators calling the game, not that garbage we got on NBC." I through the Buffed in Prime channel, I did, watch / listen to the first half. I just, in the back of my mind, I just thought Colt McCoy was afraid that Ndamukong Suh was going to come out and just destroy him again, which, by the way, would have been tremendous television. Fred says, serious comment number 3 for tonight. Got to say, ever since Friday, the Memory Friday night meetup is a happy place for me. Probably how a Northwestern player ignores his daily trauma. It's always like 70% serious and like 30% Fred. But Fred also asks, serious question. What are your thoughts on Dylan posing for a pick with the gold watch? I personally did not enjoy it. I didn't see it, but I definitely understand it. When emotions are running high, you're going to chirp, especially when you have something to chirp about. So, thoughts, Minnie?
I don't know. I don't know the circumstances, so I will not judge.
Okay.
Because it's Dylan. He can do whatever he wants. He's earned the right.
There you go. Justin Rogers says, the way that you saw Ty celebrating with Rule after the game on chasing 3 was wonderful. You know that this game meant a little something special to Ty Robinson. He didn't come back for this game. He came back for this year. But to see him perform the way he did, a sack, blocked kick, I could look, he has, let's see here. Let's see if I can just do a quick Ty Robinson or how that, okay, that's not even how that works. But the dude was super money.
He's been I was going to say poised and ready.
2 tackles. He had a pass breakup. He had a quarterback hit. The sack we talked about. As Shadur Sanders, I don't want to say fades, but as his stock, crashes, Ty Robinson's stock increases. So great to see that. Aaron Keene, oh gosh, we don't have time for this discussion. He's like, I can't believe we haven't mentioned Bullock yet. Dude was a stone cold killer. Tell you what, he came in the best times and was tremendous. Was honest to God. He was a run stopper. He was a playmaker. It was great to see him fly around the field the way he did. I can't say enough good things about him, especially when we don't have time. Because, again, my molars are starting to rattle. Melissa, Well, we always love Melissa's comments because she always brings the truth. And she says Hunter was throwing fits on the bench. You're absolutely not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Let me pull up.
Yell me a Coke.
Who, what? Me? No, I don't know you shit. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you do. You just said it at the same time as me.
But on my end, I said it first and then you said it.
No, on my end, I said it at the same time. So that counts.
Well, as long as we're going by Minnie rules. James Boardman says, do you want me to email the x-ray to you? It's a little late in the show for that. No, that's our fault for not seeing this sooner. DJ says, go off Minnie, fuck Colorado, on to better things. Yeah. Melissa says, hey, Greg, you seem to be drinking Roulade now. I was always drinking the Roulade, but I couldn't just let Minnie saunter in here with her Dylan is the greatest at everything attitude and not check her once in a while and keep it real. Somebody has to, just.
Greg.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
My Dylan is the greatest at everything attitude. I think everybody in America has that attitude right now. Yeah. Pretty fair.
BFOTS Josh Hansen just a couple minutes ago says Princewell's pose over Sanders on the ground was better. Saving that one. Oh, trying to get some of these. Jason Reese says, go pee, Greg. It's okay. I can't. I'm dedicated. All right, see. Brasco Rascal, a.k.a. Scott, says James Williams, one of the walk. Oh, we already did that one. Damn it.
We already did that one. Come on. Get with it.
Oh, we were talking about Tony White being the next head coach at Colorado, and BFOTS Josh Hansen says Tony White will get better, offers way better than Colorado. I'm just double checking here. Okay, so the only comments we have left are prediction comments. Minnie, do you have your prediction ready? Don't say it yet.
No, but I will. I've been thinking about it all day.
Don't say it yet. Get your score ready. Okay. Hold on to it up here. Joe Laleka says it would have been awesome if Sue popped in the broadcast booth. McCoy would have crapped his pants. And let's see. Fred says Greg says Saunter. He got a thesaurus. For Iowa fans, it's like a dictionary that has words that are similar in it. Jason Reeves says Dylan is a talented child. Let us all hold our grommets while he does his thing. No, I'm not going to do that, Jason, although I'm very close. All right.
Oh, my gosh. Melissa and I are almost identical.
Well, let's hold off. BFOTS Josh Hansen. By the way, let me hide that. If you want to score, if you want to post the score prediction you haven't yet, now's the time to do it. Minnie, if you see any more that are more recent than Melissa, make sure you star them. I'll get them. I'm going to start at the top.
Okay. You got it.
And we're going to go with BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I always say 35-7 and it's never hit. But this week, I reserve 17. That guest. What?
You said 35-7. He said 35-17.
Well, when my bladder is about to explode, I definitely like you stop me.
Sorry. Just get the score right.
35-17 is what Josh always says. It's never hit. He says, this week I reserve that guess, but say 27-0. Mr. Raji says 56-0 Nebraska.
Ooh.
James Boardman says 49-7 UNI gets a trash time touchdown. Fred Sacco says 49-13 we win. Husker Bob says 63-6 offense getting tuned up for Illinois, buddy. They're going to need it. I'll tell you what. Melissa says 47-6. Nebraska Rascal, aka Scott, says 30-6. And I'm laughing at it, but I'm not going to highlight that one. Sorry, Fred. Okay, Minnie, I'm ready for. I've got my pen. I got my paper. I'm ready for your score prediction for you and I.
Can you see it? 45-7 Ew, it's blurry. 45. Nebraska 7. Those little kitty cat Panthers.
Jason Reeves says, can't attempt a prediction this week. Our lads are going to have a good test. Our O should put up 50 plus.
Here's the thing that, yes, our offense should do really well. I mean, it's kind of been a test to see how much our offense can score. Because I keep thinking they're going to score more than they do. But, I'm pretty happy with the way that things have played out. But the real test is what our defense does.
Yeah.
I think, tell me what you guys think. Do you think it's possible that our defense can hold, let's say, the first 7 teams to less than 2 touchdowns per game?
I'm gonna let them answer
They've
that.
only allowed 2 touchdowns in 2 games, so I don't know.
Joe Laleka says my prior prediction of 52-10 holds. Michael Hassman says missed my Greg. Apologies. 42-6. They'll play a lot of young guys. They'll drag Burt and the Illini. Well, the Illini is next week. Northern Iowa is this week. James Portman says LGP like Greg P. You know what? I'm gonna say. I think that's good. I'm gonna say 52-10. I'm gonna say 52-10.
Ooh,
that's
like
close. Everybody gets a field goal, and Jason is killing me. I sincerely wish I could make running water noises through chat. Melissa says, I think they'll take out starters because of an early next week game. That's right. It is a Friday night game for Illinois. So if we get a big lead, maybe don't expect to see the starters.
What time? What time, Greg?
Shut up. Next week it's at 7 o'clock. This week it's at 6:30. I apologize. Mea culpa. But you're right. If we build a big enough lead, I'd expect maybe the starters for a possession or 2 in the third quarter and then out. All right. Braska Rascal says, I say we'll hold them to under 20 points, Minnie. All right. All that being said,
Nice.
We got to go. James, that is wildly crazy. Stop that, sir. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the 5 Heart Podcast. Thank you all for being here. Seriously, thank you all for showing up Friday night, Saturday. You've made my first game in Lincoln so joyous, so memorable. I can't thank you enough for being part of for me, I think everybody remembers their first right. I was there for the 398th consecutive sellout. I'll never forget that number because we know 2 weeks from now when it's Illinois, that's the 400. Thank you all. Seriously, thank you for coming out. Thank you for your weekly support. Thank you for your weekly just sitting in here with us and BSing with us. We have a great group of people here, the Family, this community that we have built. I owe you all so much for the peace of mind and the joy that you all bring me. So thank you. God bless you all. Seriously, I know we all have the fun. And hey, if my deity is not your deity, then the deity of your choosing. But thank you all. Till next week. Hold on. Let me back up and do this the right way. Shit, I forgot how to get out of the show.
Oh my gosh.
Needless to say, we remind you each and every week. There we go. That 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie.
Go Big Red.
Let
Greg?
be. Let Greg be. Let Greg
TW.